Yeah, they were doing a cleansing flight on Saturday, so.
Yeah.
Mine are second year in a row.
Did you get all panties out?
Yeah.
Actually, we're waiting on the clock.
All right. Does it move faster than I do?
One more trip around, we'll be ready to go. Call the February 3rd meeting in Fairbury City Council order. Roll call.
Norris.
Here.
Gertis Hipsch. Here. Hasselton.
Here.
Kennett.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Hoffman. Slagle.
Yep.
Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Would you stand and say the pledge, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have before you a copy of the minutes of the January 20th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections?
I'll second.
Have a motion on the floor from Alderman Kennett, second by Alderman Gertis Hipsch to approve the minutes as presented. Roll call.
Norris.
Yes.
Gertis Hipsch.
Yes.
Hasselton.
Yes.
Kennett.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
You have a copy of the board report listing the bills, and there are very few since it's early in the month. Are there any questions?
I like this number nice and small.
Easy to sign.
And charge it to the respective account.
Okay. You have a second.
I'll second.
Have a motion on the floor from Alderman Kennett, second from Alderman Gertis Hipsch to approve the bills and charging the respective accounts. Roll call.
Norris.
Yes.
Gertis Hipsch.
Yes.
Hasselton.
Yes.
Kennett.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Okay, under public comment, we have a gentleman with us. Steve, would you like to do the honors?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to introduce Randy Ednack, our candidate for state's attorney here in Lucas County. Many of you may have already met him, but if not, I want to have him come this evening and make a few comments and answer a few questions. So I'll turn it over to Randy Ednack.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me. When Steve first asked if I'd come and maybe say some words to you, I thought maybe you guys are really scraping the bottom of the barrel by having me here. But I do appreciate it. My name is Randy Ednock. I'm running for Livingston County State's Attorney. I'm not here to sell you a bill of goods. I'm not here to sell you on any political programs. In fact, I'm not a politician. I'm a prosecutor. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. And what I'm honestly here to do, honestly and genuinely, to tell you who I am, what I'm here about, and what I'm going to do for the county. I'm married. My wife's name is Ellen. She's a stay-at-home mom right now. She's a music teacher by trade, but she stays home with our 3 kids. Olivia, who's 9, Isaac is 7, and Hank, our 5-year-old, is our tornado. He's the one that keeps us busy. So we are very busy. Most of my family, we live in Pontiac. My wife and I have kids. We live in Pontiac, lived there for about 5 years now. But most of my family's from the Streeter area, so I'd ask that you don't hold that against me. In fact, most people, when I introduce myself and tell them I'm from Streeter, they always ask if I got a knife in my boot. I don't. So don't hold that against me. We are very active in our church back home. We attend the Pontiac First United Methodist Church. I serve on several committees there. I teach Sunday school. My wife leads the worship music for our second service. Our faith is very important to us. It's very important to our family. So that's something that shapes who I am and shapes the decisions that I make on a daily basis. I've been a prosecutor my entire career. I've worked on the federal level. I've worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Peoria. I worked there for a summer working on cases involving the famed Hells Angels motorcycle gang. That was certainly an eye-opening experience, talking with some of those guys sitting across the table from the president of the Chicago chapter of the Hells Angels and talking about his exploits was interesting. I worked in big counties. I started off in the DeKalb County State's Attorney's Office. I worked up there. That's where I started after I graduated law school. Worked my way up from traffic court all the way up to felony court. We had a pretty bad gang problem up in DeKalb County, so I worked on a lot of gang cases, handled a number of murder cases, but after about 4.5 years up there in DeKalb County, my wife and I would want to get closer to home, wanted to come back, see the family, and luckily for us, the Livingston County State's Attorney's Office was hiring. Tom Brown, the former state's attorney, hired me to be his first assistant state's attorney. And that was, I was his right-hand man at that point. I handled all the felony cases in Livingston County. I supervised all the assistant state's attorneys, all the support staff, and that was a pretty eye-opening experience as well. I currently serve as the Ford County State's Attorney, so just your neighbor right down 24. After working in Livingston County for about 4.5 years, they had a vacancy in their State's Attorney's Office. They heard about me. The Republican Party, the county board, reached out to me and asked if I'd fill that vacancy, and I did. I was unanimously appointed by the Republican Party, as well as their county board, to fill that vacancy, and I've served there for about 1.5 years now. Still live in Pontiac, so I drive from Pontiac to Paxton every day, which is sometimes taxing, but I get it done. As far as my experience, all told, I think I've tried about 65 jury trials, which is a lot for someone my age. I'm not that old. That's more jury trials than our current state's attorney's office, all the attorneys, including the state's attorneys combined. Put them all together, I've tried more jury trials than all of them combined. That's something that I like to talk about. That shows you experience. Some of the programs that I've started while I was in Livingston County, good programs that I didn't start 30 days before the election, but started right when I got there, was one of the things we call a criminal forfeiture program. And what that was, I implemented the county's first forfeiture program. And that was a program where police were able to take the proceeds from crimes, tools that they use in crimes, cars, money, anything they got because of a crime, TVs, houses, things like that, they paid for the proceeds of crime. We took it. The police seized it, and then what we would do is the police would be able to use the money that came from that property to supplement training, buy equipment, things of that nature. So instead of taxpayers footing the bill for equipment, for training, drug dealers were paying for it. And I thought that was an important program to start in this county. It was a program that we forfeited close to about $400,000 to law enforcement agencies in this county. Fairbury Police Department was a recipient of that. Some of the training that they've received, some of the equipment they have, paid for by drug money that I was able to get for them. So that's a program that I'm proud of. It's something that we started here. Another thing that we started or that I did was quarterly police training. I did training for all officers in all the departments in this county on a quarterly basis. Everything from new laws to effective and proper ways to conduct investigations. I did that myself. Instead of the agencies having to travel, pay other people to do the training, I would do it here locally for free of cost. That's a training that they don't see anymore. They don't get training like that anymore. That forfeiture program that I talked about has struggled since I've left. They don't forfeit nearly what they used to, and they don't seize nearly what they used to. But there's a lot of problems this county faces. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. This county has an embarrassing drug problem for the size of the county. It's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing heroin problem. We've got a complete breakdown right now between law enforcement and the state's attorney's office. It's unfortunate because there's a lot of things not getting done, a lot of good things that could get done that aren't. We see, you read about it in the papers, what we see now, fighting about judges and fighting with judges and who's in charge. And again, that's also embarrassing for our county. This county deserves better. It really does. And that's what I'm here for. I can sit here today and tell you everything that I'm a right man for the job and that I'm a great guy and that I've got all this experience, and I do, and I hope you take my word for it. But at the end of the day, the people that I've worked with, law enforcement in this county, lawyers in this county, probation officers in this county, ask them. Just ask them who they're going to vote for. And I'm confident that 99.9% of them are going to tell you me. Because that's what, the experience that I bring to the table. I've learned a lot of things in this job. I've learned that you can disagree without being disagreeable. I learned that you can compromise so long as you know those principles that can never be compromised. And I've learned that you can believe the best in people and that's something that we need to work on. Ultimately, I've learned that there's two types of criminals that we deal with. Those that we're scared of and those that we're mad at, and the two need to be treated very, very differently. This county needs a prosecutor who understands those differences and can understand those differences and treat them accordingly. I tell people a lot, why I do what I do, and I think at the end of the day, people don't really care so much what you do, but they care why you do it. So, I do what I do. Why do I do what I do? I've been a prosecutor now for almost 9 years. I do what I do because I'm good at my job, without puffing up my own chest. I'm good at what I do. I bring a lot of experience to this job. I have been with law enforcement in this city when we've kicked in doors for drug dealers in Fairbury. I've been with them. I've worked with the guys hand in hand, side by side. I do what I do because of the fact that I've studied and trained very hard to get where I'm at. But at the end of the day, I think I do what I do because when I go home, I see my wife, I see my kids. I know that they are growing up in this community. I know that they are going to school in these communities. I know that we're going to church in these communities. And I know at the end of the day that I have done everything that I possibly can to make this community, this county a better place to live in. So that's what I do. I appreciate your support come March 15th, voting for me for state's attorney. And I'm open to any questions you guys might have. I really appreciate you having me and giving me the time to speak to you. So thank you.
Anybody got any questions for Randy?
And I'll be around for the whole meeting, so I ain't leaving early.
Thanks a lot, Randy. It's good you come in and enlighten us, and we're aware of what you've done in the past, and good luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just come in, Randy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, next item, Terry McCormick would like to address the council on the canine. Terry?
Hi, my name is Terry McCormick. I'm here tonight to address council members on the issue of starting the canine program for the Fairbury Police Department. Two friends and I went to several neighborhoods to ask citizens to sign a petition saying they supported the council restarting the canine program. In approximately 1.5 days, we have collected 277 signatures. We found that numerous members of the community were not aware that the canine unit had been retired, nor has it been replaced. Through other local departments, it has been proven the cost of a canine unit can be minimized or eliminated through grants, fundraisers, and donations. A local chief stated that their canine paid for itself within 1 year and continues to bring in monetary assets for their community annually. Numerous people are willing to assist with this project. Our community would appreciate the benefits of a canine, from finding drugs to deterring would-be drug dealers from coming here. I'm personally tired of going out in the public and hearing about the drug problem in Fairbury and that no one is doing anything about it. A canine unit is a valuable tool that can be used to address this problem. The community needs the outreach and interaction that a canine officer can provide. As one mom was signing her signature showing support for the canine unit, her little girl recalled excitedly how she remembered when she was in kindergarten of petting the past canine who was visiting at her school. This is what is lacking in our community, the positive interaction between the police and our children. The signers of this petition feel strongly that the community should have immediate access to a canine unit when it is needed. Do we really want to wait for an available canine unit from another town or county to help in any emergency situation? Another benefit for our community is a canine functioning in a search and rescue capacity. This can be anything from trying to locate a missing child, Alzheimer's patient, or de-escalate a dangerous situation immediately. Our community safety from drugs is in your hands, and we believe the community deserves an answer from the council tonight. One local chief of police that I spoke to made the comment, if any town needs their own canine unit, it's Fairbury. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll kick that to committee. No one's going to get an answer tonight. There's no discussion scheduled for tonight, so thanks, Terry.
You're welcome.
Martin?
Just a couple things. Clayton Bracken, Friday was his last day. He retired from the street department. So I guess I'd like to thank you for his years of service.
Definitely.
And I would like to go out and redo applicants again to try to replace him in the near future.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and get them put out? Because otherwise you're gonna be short. Frank?
Nothing.
Dwayne's not here.
Yes, he's better.
Yeah, there, Dwayne.
Nothing besides.
RT Chief, you have anything?
I attached the report to the council.
Right, they've got it in their packets. Leroy?
One thing, we had a complaint from one of the businesses from downtown that his neighbor's roof was blowing on top of his. So I put the pictures in front of you. We used our lift to be able to take these pictures, so we weren't on the guy's property. We've had problems with this property before, so it's up to, what do you guys want to do to remedy this? I don't know. So I'm just giving you the pictures, so.
Looks like a safety issue,
Yes,
especially if you have a fire.
yeah, we're not putting any fire
No, you
down
couldn't.
that road. So,
I think the loose pieces of tin that you see up there, I'm not so sure that they were ever put down. I think they were just laying up there with boards on them or just laying on the roof because they're, the way it looks from the front, I think he just got that far and never finished it.
Okay. Give it some thought and see what you want to do. We may want to direct Paul to start. I don't know exactly what we can do, but you got a copy of each, Paul? Are you got any questions? You got any words?
Just to read what it said, it's been looked at before.
Why don't you start?
Basically, no action taken.
Why don't you start? Does anyone have any objection to Paul sending out a letter and let's get started on this? Because we don't need another laundromat.
I'd hate to think we got to take care of that now.
Pardon?
I'd hate to think the city of.
Yeah, no, that's it. Let's get started on it. Alderman Norris, you got anything?
No.
Alderman Gertis Hipsch,
Nothing.
Alderman Hasselton, Alderman Kennett?
Hang on just a second, get started on what? Get started on that one.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Get started on it.
He's gonna have to, you're gonna have to send him a letter to get started, you got a problem.
Started for him to repair it.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll just direct Paul to do that, you don't need a.
The only thing I've got is, Brad, is they sent out a letter to the Timber Ridge, all the Timber Ridge homes, and it was a good letter, and have you had any response yet?
Yeah, we've done two inspections, and we've got 4 more scheduled, so.
Two inspections, okay, great.
And we received a letter today, it's not in your packet. One of the residents who apparently has some connections they're aware of has, they just sent us, letting us know they've already got a bid from their plumber to correct the situation.
Great situation, very good.
So the people are working on it out there.
Yeah,
Anything else, John?
thanks. No, that's fine. And then you guys are doing a great job.
Yep.
with that. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Alderman Weber.
Nothing.
Alderman Hoffman's not there, he's ill. Alderman Slagle?
nothing.
Alderman Zimmerman?
Yeah, a couple of things. Excuse me. I left in your place this evening. This is a rough draft of the 3-page spread that we are going to the city of Fairbury sponsoring to promote Fairbury, the events in Fairbury, our history. It will be with any changes that are suggested or additions that might be wanted. We need to send it to the editor in the next couple of days. It'll be published late in March. It will be distributed, 60,000 copies to all of the major tourist destinations and tourist centers in central Illinois. So we're basically doing this project in the hopes that it's going to attract a lot more people to the city of Fairbury. And Kent, I'd like you to take a copy.
Thanks for your work, Terry. That group has done an excellent job putting this together. Your group has.
It really is done well.
Terry, I've got one question.
Yes,
All 3 pages are going to be colored like this?
yes.
Oh,
That'll be a copy of what's going to be here.
Yeah. And then another issue, I had a person come to me today that is involved and interested in doing something with the landscape boxes on Main Street come good weather. They're wondering what we're going to be doing with the trees and the roots in those garden boxes. So if we could make a decision on that,
Okay.
so the garden club could make plans as to what they want to do.
There's some that
Any
could,
suggestions on what to do?
some could probably be
Yeah.
trimmed, but a lot of them need just be gotten rid of, yeah.
They said the roots, last year when they tried to plant stuff in the boxes, the roots from the trees really created a problem for them in planting.
I don't
So-
know if those could be pulled or not, Mark, because if did we line those holes? Well, Steve was involved in it. In fact, Steve and Tom back there headed up the project originally 20 years ago. And I can't remember if they put something down to hold that soil because there's a lot of sand.
No, I think they dug down maybe 2 or 3 feet, just kind of made a box
That's what I thought,
with the
yeah.
cement, and that was it.
Yeah, okay.
So the tree's probably root bound, I imagine.
Well, if that's what they did, then they could pull it out of there and start all over. If that's what
There's
they're
electrical in there. Every one of them got electrical in them,
all of them?
Yep.
underground,
Yeah,
underneath.
we know.
And that's the reason the ones that we've cut down, we haven't pulled the roots out, because we're gonna make a mess if we do. I'd say there's probably a good chance if we pull the roots out, we're gonna break concrete up. But I might be wrong, but you definitely pull
We
power
just
out.
may have to take a chance. Well, you can dig down and see where the power goes. I don't know if it's supplied. I don't even know how it's supplied.
It's,
Been so many years ago that,
yeah, it's coming from, I think
Goes
it's,
underneath the curb and comes back and goes in and out.
okay.
Could we discuss
Yeah,
what our
we'll dis-
options are?
yeah, we'll-
And get back to them,
Yeah, okay.
so they can make their plans.
Thanks, Terry.
Okay.
Okay, we discussed under old business, we had a committee meeting tonight about the monthly, about going to monthly billings of the water and sewer. We're not gonna take any action out. We've got some basic numbers. We've got more work to do. The rates will be going up, and it's all because of the new federal EPA regulations that are gonna require us to enter into this approximately $19 million project, and we have to pay for it somehow. Anybody got anything else in old business? If not, first item, new business, that would be, Dwayne, they want a step bid for the water truck. Dwayne? You got any comment on this, the bids for the water truck?
No, just Bob's having some trouble. And we didn't bid it originally with the truck a couple years ago. And it would be beneficial to him. It's the truck he uses all the time.
As high as that truck is, if I wanted to, I couldn't get in out without a stool, so.
Are you guys planning to install it yourself or what? Yourself or how, who's running it?
Probably, yeah. Maybe street department. It's down to help us here.
Do you have a preference, Dwayne, which one of these? The stainless steel or just the black round steel?
Stainless steel would probably look nice.
I'd say
but
for-
it doesn't.
For about $75, you can, stainless, you never have to worry about it. The other,
You don't want to get the steel because they rust out.
I was gonna say that steel would probably rust, so.
So we're looking at 275 on that?
Yep.
Am I reading that right?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Got a motion for it from Alderman Slagle, second by Alderman Weber to approve the bid from Mattis for the stainless steel tubes for the water department truck. Roll call.
Norris,
Yes.
Gertis Hipsch,
Yes.
Hasselton,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Slagle,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
You have a copy of a appointment we need to make. It's appointing Janice Ziegenhorn, she's our new treasurer, as authorized agent for the Illinois Municipal Fund. She's the one that has to send stuff to the municipal fund and sign off on all the paperwork. and as such, we need to appoint her to that position. So I entertain a motion to appoint her.
I'll motion.
Second.
Have a motion floor from Alderman Weber, second from Alderman Norris to appoint Janice L. Ziegenhorn as the authorized agent for Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. Roll call.
Norris?
Yes.
Gertis Hipsch?
Yes.
Hasselton?
Yes.
Kenneth? Weber?
Yes.
Slagle?
Yes.
Zimmerman?
Yes.
On that last one, I guess I should clarify, that was Addis.
Yeah, I
Pretty clear about it.
Yeah, I added that to my description. The next one is a hotel feasibility study. Without getting into it too much, you've got a copy of a letter from Adam Dons. He contacted us a little over a week ago about a developer interested in putting up a hotel in Fairbury. Leroy and I met with Adam and the developer, this gentleman here, last week. And basically, we've just got one of these. You guys can look. I've just got one now. This is what they've left. They've got 84 units around the area. Adam sent this. We didn't make copies for all you guys, but he sent the typical packet on the area. The feasibility study. There's some local interest in it. If they go to a loan, you need a feasibility study. We've had one done in, I think, 99. They did another one in 06. Well, it's 10 years old. They run between $7,500 and $9,000. That money would come out of our CDAP funds. It wouldn't come out of any of our tax funds. We hope to talk with some local people next week, and we'll just see what their feelings are. But if they continue with this, at some point we'll have to do a feasibility study. Adam said he would check with the development council and see if they pick up part of it. So that's what's out there. Just toss it out there so you guys know what's going on, and hopefully we'll know more by next meeting whether we need to do it or what we need to do. Anybody got any questions?
How many rooms was
That hasn't really been decided. Basically, you're looking at, you want to start with at least 24 is what they're saying, and they go from there. They've got them anywhere from 24 to 48, and they've got this outfit is. They basically specialize in small towns. Have been their emphasis. They've got 2 in Illinois. They're scattered in about 7 states with the 84, but they're going to put one up in Watsika. So that's you know as much as we know about it now, Mike.
Can I ask a question about the process? I mean, because
Yeah.
You know,
Go ahead.
this is a private entity that wants to put a business in the community, right? Okay, I've worked for a private company,
Yeah.
and we do public-private partnerships all the time.
Yeah, well,
And when there's a feasibility study necessary for us to sell
Yeah.
something,
Right.
we pay for that ourselves.
Well, this may be a public. We don't even know. We're just getting started. So it's your question is basically a moot point at this time. This is in infancy.
Well, it's not a moot point when you're asking for the taxpayers of this community to spend money on something that benefits a private organization.
Okay. To start with, I was gracious enough to allow you to speak, which according to our rules I'm not supposed to. All I'm saying is this may be something we may have. I didn't say we're going to pay for it. I said we might. This is something. If you understood what I said, we're going to be meeting with people and see where we're at. If we can get a grant, then maybe we got to pay for part of this. But this is what the Economic Development Council offered to do. That's part of what we pay them for. Is they've done feasibility studies in Pontiac. In fact, if you look, part of what we've done in Pontiac, part of this, all of this abatement that we did, that all the communities and the county and all that, there's 160 jobs coming to Pontiac as a result of that. That was one of the big pushers of it. And they paid for all of that. And that's what we pay dues to do this. So I'm not questioning who's going to pay for it. I'm just making these gentlemen aware. Thank you. CELCAS annual meeting is February 15th. And they invite all the councilmen for supper. It's at 6:30. It'll be catered at the CELCAS building. We need to know by the 15th who's going to be going. So call up here and let Nancy go.
It's the 29th, really?
29th, excuse me, the 15th is when we have to know, it's the 29th, yeah. Yeah. So call Nancy and let Nancy know, and then we need to authorize Jan, now this is something you don't have, we just need to, get it on the record. We need to appoint her the CDAP loan fund that we have. She is also the, does the banking, and she's an authorized signer. And we need to approve her as an authorized signer, and then she'll sign with the bank. She's on everything except that, so we need a motion to.
I'll second.
Have a motion from Alderman Weber, second from Alderman Slagle to approve Janice Ziegenhorn as an authorized signer of the CDAP loan account. Roll call.
Norris.
Yes.
Curtis Hipsch.
Yes.
Hasselton.
Yes.
Kennett.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Slagle.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
This is, you have, every year we help sponsor down at Speedway, the racetrack. This is what they've got for the coming year. They wanted us to put it on and consider it and look at it. We'll put it back on the agenda next time to discuss and see what you guys would want to do with it. We have no overtime, or we have no sidewalk requests. You have the overtime report. And in conjunction with that, if you look, Chief Finney has given you a breakdown of the sheet from the activity for the past month. It gives you a breakdown of a lot of what the overtime is for there. So you get a clue, the vast majority of that overtime is for training and meeting. So, thanks for breaking that down, Chief.
Sure. The RTI did want to say I'm really enjoying these reports.
Yeah.
Very detailed.
Hope somebody is.
Your efforts are appreciated. We've got he's got the activity reports. John already mentioned Brad's letter, and I brought up the letter that we got from Timber Ridge people. So basically, does anyone else have any other new business?
Remember what was being last year, the Fairbury Trail was $1,000?
We'd have to look that up, I'm not sure.
I think it was $1,000. That's right. Yeah, maybe raise that a couple years.
I think that's what it's been. So go ahead. We'll need a short executive session for. Pardon? Well, there's no one ready.
I've got a quick public comment to add.
Stand and identify yourself.
Sure. My name is David Netter. I live in Ward 1.
Okay, now, before we start, David, is
Are
it...
you cutting me off?
No, I'm not cutting you off.
Okay.
We're going to go... Is it something that was on the agenda tonight?
This is something about what the public speaker said.
Okay, I'll let you do it.
All right. I communicated briefly with a couple chiefs of police in the area because, as you know, at the last meeting I mentioned the canine program referencing the drug arrest that happened in town. It was pretty unfortunate. One of the local chiefs in Chinoa mentioned that they don't quite always have the manpower available, so their canine isn't always available. It's something that we thought we might have available to us without having our own canine, but that's simply not correct. If there's a manpower issue, we're not going to get a canine from Chinoa. And I would assume that goes for other cities as well. If they can't send a vehicle down here with a dog in it because they have manpower issues, that is what it is. I spoke with Chief Henson briefly, who's the chief of police in Dwight, and found out some very interesting information. He actually himself raised almost $80,000 in 36 days for their canine program. It was approved by the city council. They said, if you think you can do it, go ahead and do it. And he went and did it. In 36 days, he rallied the community and was able to raise the entire cost of the vehicle, the dog, the training, and all the peripheral costs without a single taxpayer dollar being spent. And as the other speaker pointed out, a canine program once started can be self-sufficient and self-sustaining. It can pay for itself through results. So a money issue, if it's a concern to the council, might not actually be a real concern. And these are people you guys can call yourselves and ask and get the information. Chief Henson was actually so gracious as to point out that if the council needs more information, he would be willing to come down to the next meeting and give a presentation on how he did what he did and why he believes the canine program is so important to the community. He added to that he believes the canine is so important to the community that he actually okayed their canine to drive all the way from Dwight to Fairbury and Forest if we needed a canine. And something that can arise are time constraints due to case law. And if we don't have a canine immediately available, there's no point in trying to get a canine from Dwight or Pontiac or Chinola or Gibson City or anywhere else. So that's something that I would like the council to consider. It's my understanding that the Livingston County Sheriff's Department also received the majority of their canine program startup costs through donations and grants, specifically an $80,000 one-time grant. And the vehicle, the Tahoe, I don't have any direct knowledge of this, but I believe that Tahoe was donated by a single donor. The vehicle itself, completely covered, no taxpayer dollars spent again. But one of the things that I just would like the council to consider, is anybody on this council going to be doing this kind of research? Because it's actually, there's a lot of information out there and it's very easy for you all to get. It's literally right at your fingertips. All it takes is a phone call. But if you're going to put it on a committee meeting, I think the public would just like to know which committee that's going to be discussing it, and is that meeting going to be open to the public so they can come and show their support for a canine program in this town. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, anything else?
Yes, Kelly Kennett, Fairbury, Precinct Committeeman. Just wanted to share in 2015 several different situations where I got to see Fairbury's finest in action. Streets and sanitation, 2015, we had a lot of diverse weather, flooded streets, trees down, things like that. And I commend your city for getting out and doing what needed to be done. I don't know if there was overtime involved, but I never heard any complaints and just saw a lot of guys in action. And secondly, an outstanding job by Cellcast. I personally working on doing a brush fire to do some fencing for some livestock, and started a field on fire, and finally had to swallow my pride and call for help, and fire department did an excellent job. And then on another note, Cellcast ambulance responded several different times over the last year for a family member, and just did a fantastic job, and I commend the services that we provide to our residents.
Appreciate the comments. I know the people do. If there's no other comment, we need short executive session for personnel section 2C1 and collective bargaining section 2C2. Need someone to make that a motion.
I'll second.
Have motion on the floor from Alderman Kennett, second from Alderman Vertipovich to go into executive session for personnel section 2C1 and collective bargaining 2C2. Roll call.
Norris.
Yes.
Vertipovich.
Yes.
Hasselton.
Thanks.
Kennett.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Weber. Slagle.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.